This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Monday, August 1st, 2022. Let's talk about the news. From the Associated Press, infrastructure damage hampers flood recovery in Kentucky. There were 26 confirmed deaths and 37 people unaccounted for in Kentucky over the weekend, in the wake of massive and devastating flooding in at least 3 eastern Kentucky counties. Water systems are down, dozens of bridges are damaged beyond use, and a slew of communication issues are making finding people, sending help where it's needed, and accounting for the missing difficult. Parts of the state saw 8 to 10.5 inches of rain in just 48 hours, which is about 20 to 27 centimeters, and about 13,000 households were still without power as of yesterday, the same day that President Biden declared a federal disaster in order to get relief money to about a dozen Kentucky counties. Significant flooding and flood damage was also seen in nearby Virginia and West Virginia. From Axios, President Biden tests positive for rebound COVID. After catching COVID and completing a 5-day course of antiviral treatment, Paxlovid, President Biden has announced that he's testing positive for COVID again, following several days of negative tests. This is not unheard of in folks who take Paxlovid. It's common enough that the term rebound case has cropped up to describe situations in which someone takes the medication, recovers from COVID rapidly, and then sees a recurrence in the following days. But it's also rare enough that the administration is broadcasting a lot of reassurances that Biden is fine, isn't experiencing any new symptoms, and that folks should continue to take these treatments if they catch COVID and are in a high-risk group, or if their cases are serious enough. And from Reuters, Tunisian officials say new constitution passed in vote with low turnout. The Tunisian Electoral Commission has announced that a new constitution has been approved at the ballot box, though because of a boycott by the president's opposition, only about 30.5% of the country's citizenry cast a vote. This constitutional tweak is being viewed with alarm by watchdog groups, as it imbues the presidency with all sorts of new powers and takes away many of the powers the nation's parliament previously wielded. The president claims this move was necessary to get the government and economy going again after years of stagnation resulting from a 2014 constitutional change that split too many powers between the presidency and parliament. But the opposition says he's just reinforcing his position as dictator in all but name, and outside interests like a U.S. State Department spokesperson have said there are concerns about how all this went down, and that the newfound lack of checks and balances could compromise human rights in the area. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.